Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level you can't ignore. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Simple statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
Oh, here we go. We'll try that and see if we got sound that way. But, again, turn 1, modeled after Trenton. Turn 2, modeled after Indianapolis. Turn 3, modeled after Milwaukee. Here at the Tricky Triangle of Pocono. Here is something else to consider. Here at Pocono, we see qualifying is going right now as you're watching Bobby Watts there go around the speedway. We got him coming out here. But, for those that might not realize, Pocono is actually NASCAR's deadliest track. Not Talladega, not Daytona. Even though you see the biggest crashes there, they're not the deadliest. The deadliest track of NASCAR is this run right here of Pocono. Especially coming down out of turn 1 and heading down that long back straightaway that you see here at Graham Connolly. That is where a lot of accidents happen, coming off of turn number 1 and sometimes coming there off of turn 2 as well through that short chute, heading into 3. You'll see some of these cars get wicked loose. Ryan Peters is having a great run right now, setting a time of 53.208. Terry Hill with a 53.238. Chase Silla, he lays down here a 53.371, and you will not see the likes of Sage Greco. Let me see, make sure I get all this right here. Sage Greco. Who's the others here? Oh, nobody's kept up with this. So Sage Greco, I know, is one. We'll see who the other two are. Because Sage Greco got the win last week. Brock Morris and Adam Lowe. Those 3 drivers will be starting at the back this week per the new season rules here at FMA. Hey, drivers will bring it on out and run the laps they need to get qualifying underway here. Bobby Watts out there, trying to lay down an okay time. Graham Connolly still trying to improve on his time of a 53.471. Bobby Watts out there in the car number 37. And he'll have a 54.018. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers that have not qualified, minus the 3 that won't. That leaves us with a total of 4 that I'm trying to see if they'll qualify or not. That is in the likes of Donald Ray, James Afaw, Robert McRae, and Jeremy James. Those 4 drivers there, I don't know if they're coming out to qualify or not. That is yet to be seen here. And it sounded like I got my echo back here a moment, so let's see if we can fix that. Warm-ups taking place here at Pocono. All right, they're coming out here right now. They're trying to see who comes out. There you got the dude coming out. That's Joseph Spillman, working his way to the end of pit road. Adam Lowe sitting there in the 58 at the top of pit road. All right, Sage Greco, Chase Zilla there on pit road. There we see Graham Connolly coming out along with Bobby Watts coming out for a few laps of warm-ups. There's a few there on pit road. Adam Lowe, Bobby Watts out on track. They bring it on down through the back stretch here in the corner number 2. Doing the short shoot up here in the 3. Which this turn here, like I said, modeled after Milwaukee. Turn 1 is Trenton. And turn 2 is Indianapolis. So turn 3, Milwaukee. They work down that front straightaway. There you see the 71 there. Graham Connolly coming down there in the corner number 1. There's that 37 of Bobby Watts. Sage Greco coming out there on track in that Zin wintergreen machine. Adam Lowe out on track now. He worked down there out in the corner number 2. I'm sorry, that was turn 3. Just came through. Sage Greco works through 2. Up here in the 3. Great job here by these drivers so far. There you see, there is your tricky triangle map. Sage Greco, Adam Lowe, Graham Connolly out there. Graham Connolly first to set a time here in warm-up. Watts comes through there. There you see Chase Silla coming out there with the Dr. Pepper Dodge down there on the inside. Working down that back straightaway. Ryan Peters out there in the 5 machine. Working on outer here. Got just a little bit more time here. Got about a minute and a half left of the got about a minute and a half left of, and that should be changed there, I would think. That didn't, for some reason that change didn't hold last time I changed it. I'll adjust this a little bit, so bear with me here. This was changed once, and apparently I forgot to save my changes. All right, here we go as they head on out here. This is your starting grid. We'll get back to this here in a second. Your starting grid here tonight is going to be Ryan Peters out there in front with Josh Terrett-Hill there starting second. Chase Hill starting third. Shea Tarleton there in fourth. Graham Connolly there in fifth. Joseph Billman there in sixth. Bobby Watts in seventh. Sage Greco there will start eighth. Adam Lowe there in ninth. Jeremy James in 10th. James DeFaw in 11th. Robert McRae in 12th. Starting there in 13th tonight, Donald Ray with Brock Morris back there in 14th. You see him rolling on out there. Here we go, getting ready for the start of the race. Green flag will be happening. We're down there out of the corner. There you go. Pace car is going to pull up. Here we go. Green flag racing. And down here in the corner number 1 they go. They work there out of the corner, down here, off they go. Down that back straightaway. Everybody looking good so far. They're off the corner, down through the front straightaway. There you're watching Graham Connolly. As you're on board with him, down through, off the start, down here in the corner number 1. Now you're on board there with Bobby Watts as Bobby comes down through turn number 1. Out front, Ryan Peters, followed by Josh Tarrant-Hill. Sage Greco started 8th here tonight. Adam Lowe in 9th. Jeremy James in 10th. Robert McCrae back there in 11th. James LaFaw 12, as you see him all single filed out. Coming down through the corner here of turn number 2. That Indianapolis corner. As they work on out, there comes Sage Greco there at the back of Joseph Spillman. Looking to the inside, coming into corner number 3. He will get there to 300. There of Josh Tarrant-Hill out front, leading the way right now. He's got Ryan Peters hot on his bumper. Coming down there in the corner number 1. Shea Tarleton there in 3rd as they roll on out here in the corner number 1. Now you want to roll off on down through there. Good evening there, Tarleton. Hopefully you're enjoying the race. Head on down out here, down through in the corner 2. With the 5 there, Ryan Peters in 2nd. The 6 there, Shea Tarleton. There in 3rd, Chase Zilla in 4th. I don't think Shea's going to talk to us much here in chat as he's out there in the car. That MTV number 6. There behind him is Chase Zilla in the 26. Graham Connolly having a decent run so far there in the 71. Bobby Watts back here in 6th. Fight for 6th here, Sage Greco and Bobby Watts. Hang them off down here in the corner number 1. Can't quite get there. Adam Lowe right there behind Sage Greco. It is so hard to pass here at Pocono as they roll down here in the corner number 2. I mean, it's just so difficult to pass anybody here at Pocono. You got to make sure you get that run there on that outside, or I mean, just a run anywhere. It's just so hard. There's these Spillman there trying to get around. I'm saying Bobby Watts getting around Spillman, I think, or Spillman trying to get around Bobby Watts. Either way, they were battling there for that 6th and 7th position as Greco is there in 8th. He's down there on the inside of the corner. Robert McRae having issues back here, has crashed, has blown up motor at the moment. We'll take a quick look here as there's still green flag racing. Hey, there's that 803 of Robert McRae. He's going to just step out here, and then it's just going to loop around. Oh, nope, it's not. It's going to take a hard hit down there on that inside wall. And threw a piston in that engine. So you're going to have to try to get that fixed as we watch him come around here. They got the Nationwide machine there, the 221, Jeremy James rolling there in the back and about 11th right now. Joseph Spillman still hanging on to 7th. As Bobby Watts got around him there for 6th from where they started. Sage Greco's still hanging on there to 8th. Biding this time, as you see McRae there in pit road. As Peter's down there in the back stretch here, heading into corner number 2. Now, I said, you got to kind of watch it as these cars will step out real easy coming there through that tunnel turn. And now they head down here in the corner number 3. And if you look at the wall, you might be able to catch it. You can catch it, say, what turn 4 right about there, coming out of turn 4. It says what turn 4 is. There is no turn 4 here at Pocono. Chase Zilla there in 3rd. Shay Charlton there in 4th. Graham Connolly in 5th. Bobby Watts in 6th. Joseph Spillman there 7th. Sage Greco there in 8th. Adam Lowe there in 9th. James LaFaw in 10th with Jeremy James 11th. Josh Tarrant-Hill in front. Brian Peters there 2nd. Chase Zilla there 3rd. Jake Charlton out there in 4th. Graham Connolly 5th. That worked there out of the corner. Terry Hill up there in front. Still leading the way in that number 300. Throwback paint scheme on that machine. Ryan Peters there in 2nd. There you got Chase Zilla driving Dr. Pepper Dodge there in 3rd. Shay Charlton there in 4th. Graham Connolly 5th. Bobby Watts hanging tough there in 6th. Spillman still trying to find a way around him back here in 7th, but he's going to watch. He opens that door up for Sage Greco. Sage Greco will pounce on it. That'll work down here in the corner number 2. 50 laps here is the distance as we're coming up here in the corner number 2. Sage Greco still hanging tough right there behind Spillman. Looking to the inside now, coming in the corner number 3. Can he get a run? He's going to try to do 2. Can't quite get the run as Spillman has a great run there on the outside through turn 4. I'm sorry, turn 3, no turn 4. Bobby Watts trying to just hold on to that position as Hungry Dogs are there behind him. One to the inside, one to the outside. Spillman up top. Greco down there on the inside. Greco's going to back out of it just enough to let them have some space coming here in the corner number 1. And now they work there off of turn 1 down that straightaway. Bobby Watts falls back there into 8 as Sage Greco and Spillman get around him there. Hey, you see Spillman down there on the inside. Greco working there on above. Bobby Watts putting them back here to 8th officially now. They're right down through turn number 3. Heading out onto that front stretch. As they come down there heading towards turn number 1. They're side by side now. Greco looks to the inside of Spillman once again. Spillman, though, has not been making it easy for Greco. Yeah, you watch that battle coming there off the corner. I think that's the closest battle we have on the racetrack right now. Everybody else is kind of single filed out except for this group right here. Out of FMA, Indiana, is Joseph Spillman. Down there to his inside is Sage Greco. Sage Greco is currently 7th, trying to find a way around Spillman and just not getting that run that he needs. And now Bobby Watts looks like he's going to try to fight back there on the inside of Greco. Coming there out of turn 4 down that front straightaway. In the corner number 1, side by side, Bobby Watts with the 58 now of Adam Lowe. As Adam Lowe tries to get up there through the field. Rock Morris not taking the grid here tonight. Donald Ray also not taking the grid. There you watch Bobby Watts there in 9th now as Adam Lowe gets around him on the outside, but Bobby Watts not giving up. Hey, with Greco. Greco's still battling hard down there on the inside of Joseph Spillman. They work down there out of corner number 3 onto that front stretch. You see that Ninja Turtles machine of Bobby Watts. There on the bottom side comes the 58 of Adam Lowe. Greco does finally succeed in getting around Joseph Spillman. And that moves him up there in the 6th. Now he's trying to set his sights on Graham Connolly, who's down here in the corner number 1. Having a real good race so far here in 5th spot. They work down that back straightaway here towards corner number 1. I'm sorry, out of corner number 1 here into corner number 2. Everybody hanging top there. You're on board with Bobby Watts. On board with Joseph Spillman. They bring it on down through turn 3. Must say we got pretty good pack racing right now. I mean, they're not spread out completely as they can get yet. I'm heading on out here. Up out here, out of the corner they go. Across the stripe. Spillman down there up in 7th. Got Adam Lowe trying to get around him as Adam Lowe looks to the inside, coming down here towards corner number 1. Sage Greco slowly gaining position up here to Graham Connolly. Hey, Chase Zilla here running 3rd. Ryan Peters, he's getting up there to the back of Josh Tarrant Hill again. They work down that back straightaway. Chase Charlton there in the 4th. Graham Connolly 5th. Greco there in 6th. Adam Lowe gets around Spillman for 7th. As Spillman dropped back here into 8th. That moved Bobby Watts into 9th. James Afaw back here in the 10th and at number 88. Jeremy James in the 221. Working off down here out of the front straightaway here on lap number 15 of 50. Pocono Raceway here tonight for race 4 of the series. Working down that back stretch there for the 221 of Jeremy James. Lazy Spillman working there off a 2. Heading up here in the corner number 3. Out of Morrisville, North Carolina. Josh Tarrant Hill falls back into second as Ryan Peters finally got a run on him. Graham Connolly down there on the inside. Off pace a little bit. Now he's sliding up the racetrack. Or, I'm sorry, that wasn't Graham Connolly off pace. That was somebody else. Watching that was Robert McCrae back there in the 803. Hey, watch him come there off of the corner. Down the straight here in the corner number 3. Lap 16 on the board, soon to be 17 as they come across the stripe. You see Ryan Peters still hanging on to the lead with Josh Tarrant Hill right there behind him. As Tarrant Hill's currently running second. Up off the corner. And out here in the corner number 2 here. Around it up here in the 3. There you watch there, Josh Tarrant Hill there in second. Ryan Peters out there in front. Chase Zilla there in third. With Shea Tarleton there in there. Shea Tarleton up there in fourth. Adam Lowe fifth. Joseph Spillman there in sixth. Look out, here comes Tarrant Hill once again. Got to try to make another run at the lead. Here off of turn 2. I'm sorry, off of turn 1, heading towards turn 2. Greco is on pit road. Graham Connolly jumped to the pits and is out. McCrae down 11 laps. Come on down that front straightaway, heading towards corner number 1. Joseph Tarrant Hill there in second. Trying to get underneath, will do so. They come out of the corner, up, off. Chase Zilla there third. Shea Tarleton there in fourth. Adam Lowe in fifth. Joseph Spillman there sixth. Bobby Watts in seventh. James Afaw in eighth. Jeremy James there in ninth as they keep heading off down here in the corner number 2. They head on out here. Quarter number 3 they go with Josh Tarrant Hill there in second. Ryan Peters leading the way. Chase Zilla there third. Shea Tarleton doing a good job there, hanging on to fourth. Adam Lowe in fifth. Joseph Spillman there in sixth. Bobby Watts in seventh. James Afaw there in eighth. Jeremy James 10th. Now, I'm not sure what happened there to Sage Greco to why he pulled into the pits. I'm not seeing anything here of why he pulled off. It looks like he's just sitting there. I don't know what is up there with Greco as he is now several laps down back here in 10th. As Tarrant Hill's up here in set. Peters out there in front. Chase Zilla hanging on to third right now as he rolls down there in the corner number 3. The 803 of Robert McCrae working through turn number 1. Still has some damage to the front end of that machine. And we got Jeremy James working out of turn number 3. Back here at the back of the pack at number 221. There you see Chase Zilla. He's getting up there. Possibly in a battle there for second with Josh Tarrant Hill. Here at lap 21 of 50. Head on down there in the corner 2. Lava 2 down the back straightaway. Chase Zilla there third. Shea Tarleton there fourth. Adam Lowe in fifth with Joseph Spillman there sixth. Up off the corner, sliding a little bit there for Tarrant Hill. But be careful how much you let that thing slide. And you see Chase Zilla coming up there behind him. I'm kind of curious to know what the tire wear is on these things here tonight, as they like to slide quite a bit. And we're out on the turn number 1. Hanging it low down there on the bottom of the track is Chase Zilla. Up there off, and look at the wiggle coming off of Josh Tarrant Hill, coming off of turn number 1 as they head down here to the tunnel turn of 2. Sage Greco still on pit road, hasn't made any movement yet to come off. As looks like Greco has possibly called it done. Yeah, I no longer see him on track. Yep, Grego has called it done. Connolly done. McRae back here in 12 can kind of gain some position. Oh no! Chase Zilla into the outside wall coming through turn 1. Josh Tarrant Hill there in second. Ryan Peters still hangs on to that lead. Adam Lowe out here in a fourth. With Shea Tarleton out there to his outside, not wanting to give up that spot. Joseph Spillman out there in a sixth. Got Bobby Watts there behind him. James Apaw back here in 8. Jeremy James in 9th. As they bring it on out here down in the corner number 2. Down here through turn 3. It is Josh Tarrant Hill there in second. Yeah, you got, whoa, hang on to. Look at that thing slide out of the corner number 3. Down across that front straightaway down here in the corner number 1. Chase Zilla is there third. Adam Lowe in fourth. Shea Tarleton there in fifth. Joseph Spillman hanging in tough back here in sixth as they go around the lap machine there of Robert McRae. Shea Tarleton's back here in fifth. Adam Lowe there in fourth. So if I'm looking at my stats correctly, Sage Greco is still technically in session, but is out. He must be watching in session. He must walk himself back to the stands. Graham Connolly, Donald Ray, Brock Morris all have left. And see, there comes the 6 of Shea Tarleton around the lap machine of Robert McRae. 26 laps to go. And bring it on down here in the corner number 1, the 5 of Ryan Peters. Ooh, man, Tarrant Hill taking a good hit off of turn number 1. And head on down here. Looking to see, I'm hearing some possibility of pit stops coming through. To have to take a look at it. If Ryan Peters comes down here, he'll be the first one in line if they so choose. Chase Zilla there in second. Josh Tarrant Hill there in third. Off corner number 3. Peters going to stay out another lap. Here comes Chase Zilla. Josh Tarrant Hill in. Adam Lowe, he's going to come in. Shea Tarleton, he's going to slide it on in. Joseph Spillman, here he comes around corner number 3. He's going to slide it in. Same with Bobby Watts. Jeremy James going to stay out. James Apaw is going to slide it on in. So the field coming to pit road this lap, with the exception of Ryan Peters and Jeremy James staying out there for another lap. Now we see there is the 5 of Ryan Peters coming down there in the corner number 2. I'm going to expect he'll come out here onto pit lane this time. Would be my guess. Jeremy James possible as well as he gets around the lap machine of Robert McRae. And you see all those drivers down there on that pit grid. Ryan Peters coming to pit lane. Jeremy James, we'll see what he does. Josh Terrett-Hill, he's out there on track. Same with Chase Zilla. Shea Tarleton out there as they come around. There comes the 221 in the pit road. As Josh Terrett-Hill comes there out of turn 2. Back across here onto corner number 3. The 5 of Peters down there on pit road. And the 221 of Jeremy James also on pit road. But here comes that 300. Got him past him coming down here in the corner number 1. The 5 there rolling out of pit road. Not sure where he's going to go and come out at. As right now he is ahead of Josh Terrett-Hill. Coming there off the corner. How quickly can he get it up to speed? Man, oh man, Peters doing a great job. What a pit stop by that crew to get out ahead of Josh Terrett-Hill. Chase Zilla, Shea Tarleton, Jeremy James, he didn't quite have about the same stop there as our leader, Ryan Peters. He fell back into 9th through the pit cycle. What a great pit stop there for Ryan Peters in that number 5. Now Josh Terrett-Hill is going to try to chase him down. With Chase Zilla there in 3rd, Shea Tarleton there for Adam Lowe in 5th, Joseph Spillman there 6th, Bobby Watts in 7th, James Afot in 8th, Jeremy James in 9th. Stuck in a catch fence sponsored there on that machine, as well as Salted Nuts there on the hood, trying to find out who the main sponsor of the nuts are. Yeah, you see Chase Zilla there, Shea Tarleton working there up above Adam Lowe. Yeah, work there through turn number 3. Shea Tarleton down there on the Shea Tarleton on the outside there as Adam Lowe gets to him on the inside and around him. Yeah, work there off the corner. Peters out there in front. Terrett-Hill there 2nd. Chase Zilla there 3rd. Adam Lowe there 4th. Shea Tarleton 5th. 22 laps to go here at Pocono. Great racing so far. No cautions tonight so far. Joseph Spillman there works out of the corner. They're coming through turn 2. Ryan Peters out there in front. Josh Terrett-Hill there 2nd. Chase Zilla there 3rd. Adam Lowe there in a 4th. Shea Tarleton there 5th. Joseph Spillman there 6th. Bobby Watts in 7th. Jeremy James in 8th as they come rolling on out there. Ryan Peters still your leader. Looks like McRae moved himself up there into 10th position. Getting around finally, Sage Greco, Graham Connolly. There you see the lap machine of McRae having to be a factor here. Bobby Watts. There's Chase Zilla there 3rd, rolling there through turn 3. Hey, can hear that car sliding there through turn 1. When you're on the onboard, you can definitely hear them tires sliding. Adam Lowe out there for it. Shea Tarleton there pit. Joseph Spillman back here in 6th. As a pause on pit road in the 88 machine. Here at 19 laps to go. I continue to work down there off of corner number 1, down there in corner number 2. Chase Zilla still there in 3rd. Adam Lowe closing in on him though. They're in 4th. And they work there off of 2 down through here in the 3. And Adam Lowe gets around Chase Zilla to take that 3rd spot away. I would have had a little bit of damage on the right front of Chase Zilla's Dodge of giving him a little bit of an issue. And we're out of here down through turn 1. Brian Peters, your leader. Josh Terrett-Hill there in 2nd. Adam Lowe there in 3rd. Chase Zilla 4th. Shea Tarleton there 5th. Joseph Spillman there in 6th. Bobby Watson 7th. Jeremy James back here in 8th as they keep it rolling down here out of the corner here tonight for the John Dobias Cup. Rolling down here out of corner 2 comes the 5 of Ryan Peters. Josh Terrett-Hill there 2nd. Adam Lowe there 3rd. Chase Zilla 4th. Shea Tarleton there in 5th as that is your top 5. Hey, Ryan Peters up there on top. Josh Terrett-Hill there 2nd. Adam Lowe there 3rd. Chase Zilla 4th. Shea Tarleton there 5th. Joseph Spillman here in 6th with Bobby Watson 7th. Jeremy James here in 8th as they keep it rolling there off the corner. Off here through the corner they go. Hanging it out there is Ryan Peters. And they got Josh Terrett-Hill 2nd. Adam Lowe here in 3rd. And they come battling down through off of corner 2 into corner number 3. Hang on to it there as you work on out of the corner. Don't want to lose it. 16 laps to go there as Ryan Peters comes across the line. Adam Lowe out of Chesterfield, Michigan. Chase Zilla here for Shea Tarleton here 5th. Bobby Watts back here in 6th. McRae down there on pit road. Boss still on pit road. Hey, driver working on out here down through the back straightaway. Here through turn 3. These ones are working through. Yeah, these ones are working through turn 3. Others were working through turn 2. Hey, watch him come down through that front stretch. 15 laps to go for Ryan Peters. As they work here, off, down into corner number 1. Everybody's single file. Nobody's really fighting for position right now. And we see there Bobby Watts, Joseph Spillman. Now that would be a position spot if Spillman can get up there to battle Watts. Which we might see that happen. Looks like Adam Lowe is catching on Josh Tarrant Hill, possibly. Oh, no, I'm sorry, he's not. Oh no, Spillman! Takes a header into the wall. See if we can see what happened here. These two are battling for position. Up there, off the corner. Looks like Spillman almost lost it. Coming down there through turn 3. Not sure what happened there. I head on down here into quarter number 1. We're trying to look here at the replay of what happened to Spillman. Nah, I'm just not finding it. But he is definitely blown up there on pit road. And you see there the 5 up Peters out there in front. On board with Bobby Watts back here in 6th. We're down to just 7 drivers on the racing surface. And they're all spread out enough. All right, work there off a 2, down through. That's straight, heading towards turn number 3. Three drivers ended up taking it out there on pit road right now. I want to work down through the front stretch here, 11 laps to go. Off ahead, turn number 2. Goes a 37 of Bobby Watts here off a 3. You're watching at number 300 of Josh Tarrant Hill. Down here through off of turn number 3. I'm sorry, off of turn number 2. Goes Rance Peters, and there you see Adam Lowe getting around Josh Tarrant Hill. Chase Dalton back here in 4th. Chase Zilla back there to 5th. So I definitely do think that he's got some problem with the front end of that machine. There on that number 26 Dr. Pepper Dodge. Heading up off the corner. There you see Off the corner, Adam Lowe in second. Josh Hill there in third. Chase Tarleton back here in fourth. Chase Zilla in fifth here as they roll down here out of corner number 1. Down through that long stretch in the corner number 2. There's Bobby Watts coming into corner number 1. Jeremy James out here in 7th. We still have drivers sitting on pit road. Spillman, Abaugh, McRae are all on pit road. Spillman has called it done. He is out. Abaugh and McRae still sit on pit road. They work down through the front stretch here. 8 laps to go. Ryan Peters there out front. What a run for him tonight. There comes Adam Lowe through corner number 1 and 2. Josh Hill there in third. Shea Tarleton there in fourth with Chase Zilla in fifth. And they continue to work it on down here out of the corner. Down there on the bottom side comes that of Ryan Peters. There you see Adam Lowe. Josh Hill there third. Shea Tarleton there fourth. Chase Zilla fifth. They keep working it on out of the corners. Out of 2, out of 3. Ryan Peters, there comes Shea Tarleton as he works out there of 2 down here into 3. Now we're now at 7 laps to go here tonight. So far for the FMA John Dubai Cup here from Pocono Raceway. They bring it on out, down through, off up corner number 1. Ryan Peters, still your leader. Shea Tarleton, he's doing a great job here tonight, sitting fourth. Chase Zilla sitting fifth, down 2 spots from where he started. Biggest mover tonight, though, is Adam Loeb, starting in the back, coming up 7 positions. Jeremy James there in 7th, up 3 positions. Graham Connolly, tough night for him as he dropped 7 positions. Going to finish 12th here tonight. They come out through here. You see Chase Zilla there in a 5th. Josh Hill down there off of turn 4. Ended up looking like he might have got a little loose there. As he come off of 4 down here in the corner number 1. And we see that here as the run goes later. These tires are wanting to kind of step out on these drivers. They got to be real careful about that as they come around the racetrack. Now you don't want that. You don't want them to step out too far to where it ends up costing you a spot or something. They watch there. Ryan Peters up there in front with Adam Lowe there in second. Josh Hill third. Shea Tarleton there in fourth with Chase Zilla there fifth. Bobby Watts sixth with Jeremy James there in 7th. Working on out here down in the corner number 1. Goes Ryan Peters. 5 laps to go. Josh Hill here third. Shea Tarleton there fourth. Chase Zilla there fifth. As they will keep it on working down there out of corner number 1. There you see Peters down through that stretch in the 2. Yeah, they come on out there. There you're looking at Shea Tarleton as he works there off of turn number 1. And down that back straightaway. Heading here in the corner number 2. Through that tunnel turn. And 4 laps to go here tonight. And Ryan Peters, your leader. Adam Lowe there in second. Josh Hill there in third. Shea Tarleton fourth. Chase Zilla back here in 5th. Started strong, ends up back here in 5th right now. It does look like he ended up losing the grip on the rear of that car at one point and ended up into the outside wall. We saw him end up in the outside wall a couple times there through turn 1. They work there off of 2. Chase Tarleton back here in fourth with Chase Zilla fifth. Bobby Watts sixth. Jeremy James in seventh. Everybody behind seventh is either out or in the pits. The only one that's left in the pits is McRae. Now we're down to 3 laps to go here in the corner number 1. For Ryan Peters, Adam Lowe, Josh Tarrant Hill, Shay Tarleton back here fourth. As you're on board with them. Chase Zilla there in fifth. Bobby Watts there in sixth with Jeremy James in seventh. Off the corner, Adam Lowe there out front in second with Josh Tarrant Hill there third. Ryan Peters, great pit stop. Put him in a great position here. He comes down here in the corner number 1. 2 more times around here, and he will have victory. It is essentially his race to lose at this point as Adam Lowe. I just don't think he'll have enough time to close that gap, as it is over 4.5 seconds from Ryan Peters back here to Adam Lowe, and not enough time as it's sitting almost 5 seconds back. I see Ryan Peters coming up there off that short stretch there in the 3. Off of turn number 3 he comes, heading there onto the front straightaway. White flag in the air as he comes across the line. Last lap here at Pocono. As they come down there in the corner number 1 for the final time. Ryan Peters, your leader. Adam Lowe up here in second. Josh Tarrant Hill here in third. Shay Tarleton in fourth with Chase Zilla back here in the fifth. Bobby Watts in sixth. That is how they're sitting right now. With Ryan Peters, as we said, your race leader coming down there into the tunnel turn. Up turn number 2, hanging it all out there as he has the lead by a good margin. But Adam Lowe did close it down to a 4.5 from 5 as he heads down here in the corner number 3. Ryan Peters gonna be, as he comes out of 3, no turn 4, so 3 turns across the line. He will have your win here tonight. Ryan Peters, your victory winner here at Pocono tonight for the FMA John Dubai Cup. No, great start for the night there from the 5. Extremely well-placed pit stop. The pit crew on pit road for the driver of Ryan Peters, setting them up, getting them out ahead of the pack, and just didn't look back. What a great, great run there for Ryan Peters here tonight. Must be extremely pleased with that pit crew for helping them stay out ahead of the pack. And he comes back around here to the front stretch here to celebrate. Hey, there he is. Ryan Peters, your winner down there on the front stretch. Peters and Boots, or Peters and Butts, Salted Nuts. Peters and Buttes. I don't know. We'll get with him. Great, great job there for him. Getting the win here tonight at Pocono. Here at the Tricky Triangle. Your race results here are as follows. Ryan Peters out there getting the win. Adam Lowe there in second. Josh Tarrant Hill third. Shay Tarleton there in fourth. In fifth tonight. That's going to be the likes what did I say, in fifth. It's going to be let me get my eyes situated here. Chase Zilla, followed by Bobby Watts, Jeremy James, Joseph Spillman, James Aflaw, Robert McRae, Sage Greco in 11th. Graham Connolly finishes in 12th, Donald Ray 13th, and Brock Morris in 14th. That is your finishing order here tonight. Great run here by these drivers, though. Unfortunately, some of them didn't quite have the luck they were hoping for, but great show nonetheless. Let's get with our winners here tonight. Let's see here where we at. All right, let's get with Josh Tarrant Hill, hopefully. Good evening there, Josh. How's it going?
Oh, not too terrible. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. What a race out there tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Well, I know a lot of people give Pocono a lot of crap, but it's probably one of my more favorite tracks here on the NASCAR circuit. But I mean, what was your thoughts going around the Tricky Triangle tonight?
I think it's probably one of my better tracks. I don't necessarily love racing here, but I guess it kind of suits my style of backing up the corner and getting a good run down a good long straightaway. Race tonight went pretty good. Started on the outside, followed Ryan for a little bit there, got around him. Probably burned my stuff up a little bit too much. He got back around me, racing hard with Chase. We got in the wall together, racing so hard. So good racing all around. My buddy Adam passed me at the end. That was all right.
Oh man, you definitely had a great run there. And you got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for getting third place tonight?
Nope, just the boys back at the shop.
All right. Well, good job tonight, and we'll see you in the next FMA race.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, that was Josh Tarrant Hill. Now we'll go and get with Adam Lowe. Good evening there, Adam. How's it going?
It's going real good tonight. How are you?
Doing well. So you started with an EOL from last week, being placed, finishing up front, and then you come up here and finish second this week. Kind of take us through. How do you think you did here tonight at the Tricky Triangle?
I'm really happy with my performance. Starting at the back, I didn't quite know how hard to push or, how much to get spread out. So I feel like looking back, I probably should have pushed a little bit harder in that first little bit. Got hung up behind a couple guys there for a little bit too, so that didn't help me. And that second run, I was just kind of by myself. I know I passed a couple guys, so I just kind of went all out, and I figured my tires would wear out when they did. Ryan did a hell of a job keeping pace up front, so I couldn't catch him.
Well, you definitely did a great job, though, and kind of take us through how difficult is it to make passes here at Pocono?
It's really difficult. I was behind Sage there for a little bit, and he made several attempts, and he was unsuccessful. My plan was just to follow him through the field, and he didn't really go through the field. So I kind of had to reevaluate, and I figured out. I tried to pass off one and then clear him into two or turn three, so I didn't have to worry about that draft down the straightaway.
Yeah, it definitely looked like passing was kind of a different technique here tonight at Pocono.
Yeah, well, that first half, everyone was so bunched up that you couldn't pull out a line down the front stretch, so it made it very difficult to complete the pass. The second half of the race, we were all strung out, so you didn't have to worry about it, and you could just pull out off turn three and clear him into one.
Well, you did a great job coming up through the field, got second place here tonight, and you got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting second place?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Colombo Properties, and as well as my wife for letting me get on here once again.
Alrighty, well, great job, and we'll see you in your next FMA race.
I look forward to seeing you next week again.
That was Adam Lowe, our second place finisher. Now we'll get with Ryan Peters. Good evening there, Ryan. How's it going?
Good. How you doing, Adam?
It's going well, man. And you got to be absolutely stoked with that pit crew of yours coming in, off of the, a lap after everybody and getting out ahead of them all.
Yeah, I felt like I was doing really good on saving tires and was able to run a consistent enough time to not have to pit with everybody else. And when I came in, I had 77 still percentage wear, and I just felt like I could make that last in the second half a little bit longer as well. So good pit stop, good drive, and took her to victory lane.
Yeah, he definitely did a great job out there. And I know last week with Sage Greco getting the win, I think you were a little bit farther in the pack last week, like 4th or 5th. I can't quite remember. But he took the points lead last week, but I think you're going to end up getting it back this week.
Yeah, I ran, I think you're right, I think it was right at 5th place, and started a little bit further due to the EOL. Sage had a rough outing today, so I guess I got to thank Chase more than anything, because originally we were supposed to go to the Nashville Fairgrounds, and then instead went your back of the woods and his back of the woods, and, made it work out.
Yeah, well, I somehow missed that memo that we switched tracks. That's too earlier today. It's been one heck of a week for me already, I'll say that.
Yeah, the triangle gets tricky even on the schedule.
So, but you did a great job navigating the tricky triangle and coming home with the victory. So you got any sponsor shouts? Anybody you want to thank for getting that victory tonight?
Yeah, I want to take a shout out to John Dobias for being there with us and in the chat racing. We wish him nothing but the best in his recovery. We can't wait to see him back on the track. So God bless him and his recovery he's got going on. Josh Hill gave me a great run there at the beginning of the race for quite a while. We had a real spirited battle that was very, very clean, and that's what FMA is all about. And again, just all those that run FMA, Chase, Matt, Joe, some great individuals that do this league, and it's growing all the time, and hopefully we can just continue to get bigger and bigger and have more great racing like this.
All righty, well, great job, and we'll see you in your next FMA race.
Yes, sir. It's Bristol tomorrow night in the trucks. Let's have a blast.
That's right. That's not broadcasted, though, so I'll see you on track.
Yes, sir. Sounds good, Adam. Take care.
All right.
God bless.
Same to you. You have yourself a great night. That was Ryan Peters, our winner out there, getting the win here tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow night with the Pro Late Models after Shaggy TV brings you the, over at Coast to Coast Racing Network, that is. After Shaggy brings you the Modifieds, I'll be on track for those. Then I'll broadcast the Pro Late Models. Then we'll be off air until Sunday. So be sure to check us out. And check out Coast to Coast Racing Network as well tomorrow night to see yours truly try to battle it out with those top-notch dirt drivers. It's definitely not an easy feat for sure, but thank you all for tuning in. And as always, have yourself a great, wonderful night. We'll catch you in the next one.